This week on the Pulleys podcast, we have the Pulleys. Sorry it's slightly late, but, you know, it was Christmas.
Three, two, one. I think we're the only people not on strike.
Hey guys, welcome to the Pulley podcast with myself, Danny.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
I can go on strike if you want me to. I'm happy to do that. If you want to end the podcast now, see you in a bit. Merry Christmas.
We're going on strike. Fuck you guys. Unfortunately. I like have I shown you this? So the BBC, so many people are
produced
on
a calendar,
strike,
didn't they? Of like who's
they
on strike.
Produced a calendar.
Mental.
So
I
just
find it
the
really
one I
odd.
didn't get. If anybody is one of these who's listening, I doubt it. It's not our demographic, but they do spend a lot of time in a car. Driving examiner, ridiculous. Driving examiners. That's a weird one, isn't it?
The thing with them striking, I find a bit odd, is it's a bit like, well, okay, so some people don't get the driving test for a little while. Brilliant. Like nurses, border force, police, a bit more immediate, do you know? My brother, my stepbrother, he's a fireman, and my brother-in-law actually as well. So they obviously had their strike for firefighting and stuff. So obviously I support the fact that they're drastically underpaid across the board, policemen, nurses, all this sort of stuff as well.
Dan supports arsenal, basically. You heard it here first.
I love fires. But yeah, I do find it strange because like. And again, this is just my complete lack of knowledge on politics in general and economics as well. Let's go with that, right? But like, I just think that there's this whole. I just wonder where all this money is going to come from. People want like so. Okay, let's say that every single person gets their.
Obvious, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So let's assume that every single person gets their pay rise that they want. Right?
Oil chat that we just had. Just dig.
Just dig deeper, yeah. Just pluck more money out there. So I was looking at it, I was like, okay, let's just say that we give the nurses 20% increase on their pay, which again, whether they deserve it right or wrongly, again, let's just say that it's all given. Everyone's demands are given into, right? Everyone is going to have to pay more tax then. Every single person, and it's going to go up for everyone to the point where, where does it stop? Like, okay, well, I'm going to strike because I'm getting taxed too much. Like, okay, that person strikes, and then and it's just like, and I understand that, like, obviously, if you're in a position where you can't afford to buy food and do all that sort of stuff, and you're a nurse, I get it, I understand it. But it does beg the question of like, well, where's it all come from? Because the government are borrowing more money than they've ever borrowed in the fucking its existence. Yes, they're giving it away to all their chumps, and yes, they're fucking doing that shit, which again, I agree with is awful. You know, we should stop that. We should highlight that aspect of it.
We should stop that.
But obviously there's all that to highlight. But I just wonder again, as a percentage, how much of that is actually going to go towards paying these extra salaries and stuff like that.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Like, so I feel like I've ranted about this previously, and like the public sector. So, but I think so. Say previously, when people went to go on strike, that it happened fairly frequently, and it was it's basically their way of doing a bartering system, right? They're like, oh, we're undervalued, we're going to go on strike, we need more money, blah blah blah. We go for 15%, and they're like, oh yeah, they go on strike, and then they end up with like 11%. Or something like that. So which is a traditional what has happened over the last, I think it's like 30-40 years, and that's what's happened. The issue with what's happening right now is the Conservative government have decided that they're going to make striking illegal, and you're like, that's not what happens. You still need the ability to strike, because unfortunately a whole workforce needs the ability to barter, and without striking there isn't much bartering. So it's not like private. So that's in the public sector, because there's obviously they're more, let's say, everyday emergency services, all that kind of stuff. It's a public sector job, and they don't make money. Let's put that very clear. Public sector does not make money. The private sector makes money and pays for the public sector, right? So the public sector doesn't exist without the private sector, and that's what gets in my goat is public sector workers going, oh, these private sectors paying themselves too much money, blah 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 blah. Those are the ones out there finding it and taking it off other countries and getting more commerce and blah blah, making the world go round, because that's what happens, unfortunately. So if the public sector, they pay you pay taxes, but off from the taxes of the private sector taxes paid for the public sector jobs, right? That's just what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're striking over more than that, and I know there's more to it than that.
Yeah, there's obviously
like
a lot of
other patient care and all that sort of stuff. But I just think it, and I think that the whole inflation thing doesn't help, because obviously everyone's saying, "Oh, I want my pay increase in line with inflation,"
everyone's in the same boat, right? So,
and the argument from the government then, of course, is that but if you then give you the inflation, mate, you got more money to spend, and then you'll spend more of it, and then the inflation will stay high. So it's just not good for anyone. And I don't know. Yeah, I just find it very like I look. I mean, obviously it's their right to do whatever. And like I say, being in private sector, we're in a position where we can arguably go out and try and earn more money if we wanted to. Certainly, as self-employed people, you have even more opportunity to do that, I suppose, because you are literally in charge of it. But it just seems a little bit like, and I'm literally not taking sides. I'm just posing the question as to like, well, when does it like stop? Like,
when does it end? But I don't think it does. Mate,
do you just keep getting? And I guess in the private sector, you get higher salaries because you go, well, the company's made more money, this has made more money, so you can ask for more money because you know that everyone's going well. Whereas I suppose the pay increase in public sector isn't related to results necessarily and that sort of stuff. But
no.
I also think that going into it, like. You get that job because your kind of job is a bit more guaranteed as well. Like that's one of the things about going into public sector jobs.
You're always going to need, we're always going to need ambulance workers. We're always going to need those people.
You'd have thought
100%.
So, yeah.
That's the thing. Like we probably at some point didn't always need personal trainers. Like we're a luxury business, 100%.
Yeah. Who knows? But I just, like I said, thought it was,
interesting. But anyway, we digress. What we should be talking about, mate, is that it is the Pulley Awards. I'm on an RN because I'm fucking tired. Unfortunately, shit's hit the fan in my family, so I've got to go home faster. Get well soon, mum. Go help my parents out because my mum had a little bit of a fall. Just a requirement of people, weight train so you don't break yourselves. So
rumor is she was listening to the Pulley podcast and heard Tom swear and she fell over.
And she fell over and has literally fractured her hip. So she had surgery yesterday. So I'm going to go home and be a nice boy and help out and do what I need to, I guess. I don't really know what I'm kind of like half and half on like, all right, I've probably got to help my mum out but she's not going to be moving around, is she? Like, she's got to get stuff for her. I help my dad out because very traditional marriage and he's like 74. Don't think he's cooked himself a meal in about 40 years. And yeah, I'm not too sure he knows how the laundry room works.
He'll be fine for a few days, mate. He'll be fine for a few days, sat in his chair. Just make sure he's just got some water. He'll be fine. Put the TV remote near his hand.
I'm going to be like, all right, Dad, how much scrambled egg have you made? If I asked that to Dan, that would be like endless amounts. How many kind of sausage rolls and pork fries have we eaten? Cold, more than likely. How have we washed our pants? So front and back,
or at least turn them inside out. At least do that.
Inside out.
Never understood that, but whatever.
Three ways you can do pants, right? So, or 4 ways really. So you can go front, back, inside out, front, back. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you can do it 4 days.
Yeah. 4 days. Apparently, I mean, I've never done
fucking gross. If you've done that, 1 day with my sweatiness. Ugh. Jesus, no, I'm joking.
Thrown away, mate. Never mind wash.
Thrown away, burnt. I 1 day, then I burn them. Just get rid of them. That's what they're good for. Nobody wants those.
The other thing we need to sort out as well, mate, is we need to sort out our next golf holiday. That's the next thing we need to start looking at.
I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, well, am I not doing Dubai again in fucking? Is Dubai?
Well, Dubai's going to be what? Dubai's going to be what? Anywhere between October and April.
Well, I need to
escape in August. I need to escape in August because it's too hot here to play golf. So that's.
I'm thinking we got to do Paynes Valley in the States. That's what's happening.
Well, after seeing Rick Shields' Palm Beach par 3 courses,
true.
Out there. Jesus Christ, it's incredible. America could be one to go to, but just think about
that. It'd be fun. We could we'll reach out to the good people and be like, look, do you want some S&C for a week? And we'll come play with you.
S&C Nutrition, and you get sorted. You know, guys, we'll help you drive the ball further and lose a little bit of body fat. What more do you want? In a week?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do it in a week.
Yeah,
no
we do it in a week.
mate.
We got to play
We'll
golf
get
every day and film it.
Yeah. You teach us how to play golf.
So our subs go up. That's all right. All good.
Yeah.
They do it. They play with these really boring fucking Division 1 golfers, so we're fine. At least we can have some bands.
So, do you know what
I mean? True. Yeah. Absolute vanilla. All right. We should probably do the Pulley Awards. So if anybody has not listened to this show before, you probably have. We normally have a list of stuff, normally best and worst, throughout the year. This one's going to be reasonably interesting, mate. This is, I don't know, probably the 7th iteration of this. I'm not too sure. Reasonably interesting because this is the first full year you've been in Dubai and not England. So you kind of have to have a Dubai kind of thing for
Take
this.
On things.
Yeah. So, and I've dabbled in the tastes of Dubai. Not massively, but yeah, not 365 like you have. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So I did. I've typed Pulley into my notes search, and I have got some notes from last year's show, which is amazing. So yeah, I've not gone into this completely blind, trying to remember what all the categories were, which is good. I'm quite glad. Right, so yeah, mate, like without further ado, we got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 awards to give out. Fuck me. There's a lot in it. I mean, there's a lot of chat. And you notice that my my microphone's better this week. It wasn't actually that bad when I listened back to the recording, so it was okay. Just annoying for you, I'm sure, at the start anyway. Or it was annoying for us trying to figure out what was going on. What was happening. But yeah, all good. All right. So we'll go. This is an interesting one because we haven't done many protein bars this year, if any. Like
I've not had many. I've only had a carb killer and it wasn't great.
So we're gonna go in at best protein bar, as we'll start soft and go harder, shall we? Best protein bar you've had this year, Daniel, and that carb killer bar.
I mean, I've not had any, mate. Like, it's literally gonna have to be it's a PhD Smart Bar birthday cake. It's all right. It's not incredible, but that's it. Unfortunately, I'd not bring much to this party because it's sorry.
It's an interesting one. So I think I'm gonna go. It's only because I've had like shit tons of them, and they're the thing I always go back for. And it's not really a protein bar though. It's like it's the My Protein wafers. They're the most convenient. They're probably not the tastiest thing, but they're the thing that I think a lot of people have as well. And they're convenient and they do for good. They're like good for breakfast or a good little snack. They're not too high calories. They taste like it's a good 7, 8 out of 10. So I feel like I'm bringing that to the table. I haven't had anything else really of note. I haven't done a lot of protein bars this year, if I'm really honest. As much as we have previously. I dread to think how many we've tried. 40, 50, 60? Easily, right? So over the last like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I'm putting out there. Got to give it that, surely. Let's go My Protein wafer. Corporate shrill. Or a PhD Smart Bar. Smart Bar. I've had a Smart Bar. Have you ever had the wafers?
No, I've never had them. I'll just have to trust your opinion on them, mate.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'm giving it that.
I've had similar wafers though. We've had the similar ones, haven't we, before?
We've had similar wafer things, but I still think those ones. When I think that was the protein bar last time was those the like Kinder Bueno kind of wafery thing with the inside bit. I can't remember what they're called now. They were great. I haven't bought any more. Maybe I should. It should be a thing. I'm needing some more proteiny bar things, snacks. Because then, actually. No. We're going to rename this as protein snack instead of protein bar because there's only one winner for this, and that is the protein pudding from fucking Lidl and Aldi, hands down.
Yeah. That's been a game changer
massive this year. Like you had the equivalent stuff like when we were in Italy, right? That was kind of the similar thing.
The chocolate one was incredible.
Chocolate one was great. Like, oh yeah, mate, that's blown those out of the water. Protein snack. I'm going to change this on my notes. Protein snack.
And the reason it's better, the reason we need to change it, and the reason it's better is I would happily have one of those over a protein bar any day.
1000%, yeah.
So
the only caveat with those, it does leave your mouth feeling a little bit dry. They're not dry, but like the aftertastes after like 10 minutes or so, you're like, all right, I need
chocolate milk after it. You need a chocolate milk after
exactly.
it.
You need a little chocolate milk. That's what's going on. Beautiful.
For sure.
Done. I'm so glad that came to me because I was just like, what's in my fridge? I'm like, yes, I have those still. Beautiful. And the hype's kind of gone, so you can always get them in Aldi now. I walk past
people
Aldi
just buying the trays of them.
Exactly. Just be like, thanks. Leave stuff for anything. Cool. Right, big one for you, mate. Big one for the world is diet drink of the year.
Well, I have about 4 choices over here, which is frustrating to say the least. So they've just actually got Monster over here. And I'm the white Monster. It's in a small can like this. It's not in a big can. It's only a small can.
Okay.
It doesn't taste as good as it does in the UK. Nowhere near. So that's annoying. No, I mean, the choices here are Diet Pepsi, Coke Zero, Pepsi Max, like raspberry and lime, which are kind of okay, but nowhere near as good as the UK versions. And then 7-Up Free and Sprite Zero. Literally, they are the choices of diet drinks. I shit you not. That is it. They just don't do any diet drinks like that. They don't do any fizzy drinks. The fizzy drinks they do have with sugar in, the options are those again, plus like an orange one. They don't do any sugar-free orange, but they just do a full sugar version. Brilliant. I'm literally drinking sugar-free orange right now. I do. That's the one thing I do miss about the UK is that the Dr. Pepper Zero, the Fanta Fruit Twist Zero, all that. Like the choice of diet drinks here is shocking. Shocking. There's no demand for it though, so no one gives a shit over here about the health, so they just drink it.
Mate, I mean, probably the one I've definitely purchased the most would be Diet Coke or Diet Fanta or Fanta Zero, Fanta Light, whatever it is. But I don't think that's my favorite thing I've had most of the time because I have dabbled a fair bit into like I think it's basically Diet Lilt or Lilt Light or something like that.
Lilt
I don't
Zero.
know. Yeah. Lilt Zero.
Oh, great drink.
That's
Such
been good.
Drink.
There we go. I think that's got to take it because I think that's the one I've enjoyed most, and I purposely haven't bought it lots because you're like it's a little bit too much if you have it all the time. It's not an everyday drink. It's like I'm gonna have that.
I think at any one time you have to have 2 in rotation. One that's like a Coke-based one and one that's a fruit-based one. That's your rotation. You can't have, for example, Fanta Fruit Twist Zero and Lilt Zero as your only 2 options.
No,
impossible. Right. You have to have like a Fanta Fruit Twist with a Pepsi Max, variety or whatever. Or,
100%. I've got Fanta Zero and Diet Coke as my 2 right now because you're like, with dinner you're like, no, I can't have like a fruity thing with this meal because it's too fruity as a meal. I need something a little bit blander. You're like, all right,
it's the new red wine, white wine with like steak and fish. It's the new one of them. It really is like, and more important in my opinion as well.
There's there's levels to this, so absolutely fun.
I'm Lilt Zero. I'm down with that. I'm
Lilt Zero on it. Cool. Best food choice. What is the best food choice you've had, or like eat out? Best meal you've cooked? Anything?
Best food choice to me. The thing that's changed this year for food choice has been pizza, homemade pizza.
Ooh,
as a choice, that's a pretty epic choice to be able to have when you want it. And
see, this is a very much what have you done for me lately? Because I've had a few pizzas over the last 2 weeks as well. Because I've been like, really fancy a pizza. Like because I've been watching football, more sports on, and it's like, working a little bit longer. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna order a pizza. Have that.
Yeah. That's the thing for me. Has been that's been the main thing that's changed the food choices. And obviously, there's good burgers and stuff. Yeah, of course, all right. But for me, that's been a big change that I've been like, actually, I really like a pizza.
So my input will be probably something I've had a bit more this year is like ramen. I've had
ramen,
I've had a fair bit of kind of ramen based like noodly stuff, which is
well,
cool.
We had a first time there was a Mexican that's just opened that I'm always a bit skeptical about. Mexican takeaway, really really good. So when you're over here next, we should try that. That'd be the other one. Yeah,
why are you
really
skeptical
nice.
about Mexican takeaway?
I don't know. I just always assume it would just be like too spicy, and I'm like, I can't deal with that. And then it's just like all spicy. I'm like, oh, I can't eat any. I don't like any of it. Do you know? But no, this one was actually really good.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, I can go with pizza. Like I'll save my like tonkotsu or something like that. If anybody wants a good ramen places, I got you sorted. So you're fine. Yeah, in London, which is good. Went for some last week. No, I had some noodles yesterday. So it's good.
Yeah. Homemade pizza. For me, it's better than a barbecue. I've said it again. I'll repeat it. It's better than a barbecue. Pizza oven.
It was good. Like Daniel did eventually, until like the last day, fucking made it for me. Fuck, yeah. Man. I had to invite other humans round for him to make it. I'm not special.
We're too busy playing golf, aren't we? It's just
so.
We're too busy playing golf.
Right. This was still like post-COVID kind of thing. I've got this said lockdown on it. So because I think this was a category that stayed post-lockdown was best delivery. Because delivery food was a bit bigger throughout COVID, obviously. And you can chime in with this because Dan has ordered food in Dubai. So, yeah, what is your best Dubai delivery, mate?
The Mexican one, to be honest.
Mexican one.
I'm saying it. It was that good. It was that surprisingly good. So I'm going with that. The burgers and stuff are okay, but they're always better when you eat them out. Whereas this, we hadn't eaten out when it's it was good.
Mexican food. What did you have?
I can't remember now. A mixture of 3 different things. There was one that we had. It was like a baked thing, and it came with I can't remember what they called it now. It was almost like it was whatever would have dripped off it, the fat and the spices and stuff. And they put a little pot of it. You could dip it in. It was literally part of the dish.
All right. One thing. Yeah. Were they corn? Corn to like
these
tacos?
Ones were corn, I think. This was like quesadillas. This was baked quesadillas with steak and cheese, baked, and it had some oil because it kind of like the oil had seeped into the tortilla and as it had baked, and then you had this thing to dip in it. It was good.
I got no time for people who go for wheat, fucking like fajitas and stuff like that. No, that's not a thing.
A mixture's all right, mate. You can have a mixture, I think.
Nah, corn. You want the corn tortillas? That's the real shit. No.
Okay.
Well, considering Mexicans don't fucking eat the wheat ones, so it's just like, all right. What we do?
Tells you everything
Westerners,
you need to know, doesn't it? Tells you everything you need to
know. Best delivery for me, I'm not too sure. There's a little Korean barbecue place that I have frequented this last year that has happened quite a lot. So fried chicken, Korean barbecue, been pretty good. I fucking love Asian food. I just
love Asian food, yeah.
I do love Asian food, but I also love Mexican food. We can go with Mexican food. You're Mexican. Are you gonna give me? Is there a name for this restaurant, or
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
Mexican food Dubai.
But it's saved on my Deliveroo, so that's all that matters, mate. Is it saved on Deliveroo? So we're good.
Mate. I mean, yeah. All right. Next one is best burger, but best Dubai burger. We'll do that because, well, I did send one. Did I send it to you? No, I didn't. Did I send it to you? A burger thing this week. Oh, mate, I didn't send it to you because you're in Dubai. I didn't even fucking send it to you. Oh, brilliant. Where are we going? I'm gonna send you it right now. We're gonna get Daniel's take on it. Oh, there we go. Daniel, where are you? Like live reaction of where I'm gonna go. Hopefully, we'll see.
Oh no, you did send it to me. Yeah.
Did I send it to you? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that bone marrow
tomahawk,
burger.
the
Oh fuck.
massive tomahawk steak burger in Dalston. It looks incredible. Guess how much it costs?
I don't think.
60 quid.
60 quid, yeah.
60 quid, but it's for two people. As you can see, it's fucking massive.
Yeah.
So
I like the one with the gravy dip. The gravy dip one.
Gravy
and then
dip
the one
and
with
flips,
the bone marrow stabbed in it as well looks good.
Oh, they look good. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little burger thing. I think in January. Fuck it. Whilst everybody else is losing weight.
Why wouldn't you, mate?
I'm gonna go and eat some burgers. All right, best burger in Dubai. What are you talking? We tried a few.
Pickle's all right, isn't it? You know, I had one the other day. We were going to go to Pickle, weren't we? It was nice. There's not really a standout, to be honest. We've tried a couple, and they were okay. But
it was just the obsession with sliders, is what the
they love the sliders over here, don't they? But Pickle was good. I think Pickle's up there. I reckon give it to Pickle. Yeah, I reckon give it to Pickle.
Pickle. Yeah. That's without an E. People.
Without an E. Yeah.
Correct. All right. Yeah. Best TV series.
Ooh, for me, Gangs of London this year.
Gangs of London.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched that.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Wow. Well, that's yeah. You should watch it, mate.
Mate. Well, I think what have I watched this year? Obviously Star Wars stuff. I've watched that. Andor was all right. You wouldn't have watched that. The Game of Thrones one. The Ring of Power was good. Probably the one I properly got excited about watching each time and be like, yeah, let's get that. Because it obviously cost a ridiculous amount. But that was good. I enjoyed Ring of Power. What else have I watched? I don't know, to be fair. I can't remember now. I feel like because recently it's been those two that I've binged. Not binged, but yeah. We'll separate those into two categories then. I'm assuming Gangs of London isn't a fantasy thing. You can tell what we're both into.
It's not a fantasy thing, mate. No, it's about gangs of London that go to war in London.
Best fantasy. There we go. And best.
The way that it's done is pretty much a fantasy because it never fucking happens in London. There's no way.
I mean, of course it does. Yeah.
What I've seen. So yeah.
Maida Vale, rough as fuck. You should see Gales on Saturday mornings.
Gangster's paradise, mate.
They are screaming for what they have in their feta and spinach rolls. Fuck me. Those mums are shoot ups, everything.
I can imagine it gets a bit dangerous for them.
It is pretty dangerous, yeah. Anybody had one of those, they are amazing. Spinach and feta little roll. You wouldn't have thought it. I ordered it out of desperation because there wasn't any sausage rolls. And I was like, I need something savoury. It was good. Good shit.
It's not as good as sausage roll, though, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not. No, I said I ordered it out of desperation. So
yeah, pure desperation.
I wanted something savoury, and I didn't. I was like, I'm not in the mood for a cinnamon bun. I know. I just needed the savoury thing.
Yeah, feta. I've never been a fan of feta. Would never be something I'd choose.
Weirdo. Yeah. Love spinach though, so I can't get away from spinach. Best coffee.
I'm making myself at home, mate.
That's the thing. You coffee shops. You're not really going to over there, are you? Anymore?
Not really. No, not a huge thing that I bother myself with, to be honest. Yeah, I make it myself as well as anyone out here does. So going with that.
Well, let's go for this as well. So best shit coffee. Has anybody stepped up their game in terms of prep? Because I feel like the best coffee this year has been Hagen for me. That is Hagen. They do have a sign outside that says best coffee in London. Bit punchy. But it is pretty fucking good. It is the one that I've probably that, and I go and chill out and workshop because it's a little bit less busy sometimes. But Hagen is definitely the most popular one. But next year will be interesting because near me, Watch House and Shot are moving into the Marylebone district and village, so they'll be interesting. So it's just one thing Marylebone village needed was more coffee shops. Definitely.
Yeah, there's not enough coffee shops.
There's not enough coffee shops there, is there? So yeah, definitely. Who would have thought that?
I tell you, the Pulley for the definitely for the shittest coffee is Dunkin' Donuts. God awful.
I thought it was all right when I was in the States.
Well, over here, fuck me. I had a black coffee the other day. Isabel wanted a donut. I went in. I was like, I had black coffee. Oh my God, awful.
Was it like black filter?
Yeah, it was like sludge, just like pure, like, oh my God.
It's like,
do you know, it's the kind of coffee I can imagine the Americans love because they've got no taste. One of them.
Because over in the States, you're either a Starbucks person or you're a Dunkin' person, aren't you? Like that's like the big division.
They're the two, yeah. It's no Costa.
The twos that you get. So yeah, because Costa's still the biggest over here, which I never get. I can't stand Costa. Oh, I mean, I'm going to give
bad.
Unfortunately, I have to give the Pret, even though it's shit coffee, but it's so fucking cheap on my subscription. So yeah. Apart from Starbucks with their eggnog latte, that was a good seasonal drink, my friend. So
if I ever go to Starbucks, it is to get a like sugary flavored drink. It's not to get
correct.
Coffee.
It's not to get coffee. I'm like, I need like this weird concoction that I've walked past so many adverts that I just need to buy it. So unfortunately, that's what happens. So I'm gonna go Hagen. If anybody goes into London, there's actually, I think there's 2 or 3 of them now, but pretty cool. I think they're Danish or Swedish or something like that. I believe they're the biggest coffee drinkers in the world. So they drink the most coffees per capita, I believe. So they probably know what they're talking about.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Best social media follow this year, Daniel. Who have you followed? You've enjoyed?
I would say 4 Brothers.
4 Brothers,
called 4 Brothers, yeah. I mean, fairly recent to be fair, but yeah, definitely up there with one of the best.
I follow them as well, so yeah, 100%. I can concur there. So it's pretty decent. Yeah, if you're into kind of in-betweeners humor, I feel like that kind of thing, I think they're really good follow. Not very fitness though, mate.
Not very fitness. No, that's probably why I like them. Fuck me, because I've had enough of fitness, mate. Now on Instagram. Yeah, Paula Lima is obviously a great follow.
Paula Lima is a good follow. I think for like businessy shit, I like the intensity of Alex Hormozy. I think people like that, and he says a lot of sense. Very basic shit, basically.
I mean, I think with Alex Hormozy, I do like it, but it is very much a case of I'm a billionaire, so I've done this. It's like, okay, yeah, but you're also a billionaire, so it's easy for you to say that and do that, isn't it? Then, but it's just one of those, mate.
Fitness follows. I think I'm going to go for there's a S&C gym in Australia called I think I'm going to give this the 2. So in terms of fitness follows, if people want to get their pens and papers out, or their phones, probably get their phones because they probably listen to this on their phones. There's probably 2 or 3, I would say. There's a gym in Australia called Athletes Authority, which fucking great work they do. Really good exercises. They show people like their athletes work, and they just put sessions up and stuff, which is quite cool. If you ever are lacking like ideas for little tidbit kind of exercises and stuff like that, and how to move fucking well, and basics done incredibly well. But people I think you're gonna look. I think basics, but they give me ideas and stuff like that. If you're ever lacking for like filler exercises and other stuff, so Athletes Authority, I think it's called. Athletes Authority. You'll see that I follow them. And there's probably Lee Spellman, or Les Spellman, whatever his name is. But there's I like his stuff, but I probably like his business partner more is one of the female coaches, and she's fucking great for just coaching. I really like their videos as well. So they've literally just hired somebody just to be around them when they're coaching their groups, like group of athletes and stuff. And you can, it's really cool from just a coaching science point of view, how they're relaying information and what demonstrations they use and what queuing points they use. So it's Lee Seven Spellman, and I can't remember her name. Oh, there's another lad as well, Scar Performance, I quite like. He's quite cool. I can't remember her name. Fucking hell. I'm trying to see
good,
it.
is it, mate? That's no good,
I know, I'm scrolling my saved posts and she'll be on there at some point. But I can't find it. The way I've decided this is I've probably got the most saved posts from Athletes Authority. And then it's just like golf stuff. There we go, found her. CC Murray is the lady who I would
Murray.
And I think there's an underscore at the end, something like that. Hate that. Confuse you. But yeah, she's good. Good coach, because people don't realize how important coaching is. So those are probably my follows of the year. So you've gone for funny, I've gone for health and
serious. Sums us up.
Serious. So, yeah. Fuck me. Yeah. All right. Worst social media follow.
Well, probably unfollowed them, so that'll be that. If you're a coach, any other coach. So there you go. Just to be controversial. Let me have a little look on here. Let me see if I can find.
Probably people like the Liver King. I'm sure he probably got a lot of unfollows lately. Do you reckon he got a lot of unfollows lately, or more people went and followed him because they want to see this like madness?
I have no idea. I don't actually care. I think he's just such a gimmick. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just a marketing ploy, right? And 1.7 million followers now. But the thing is, he's gonna have people follow him just to see what stupid shit he does. Like there's a video here of him fucking with a Theragun on his abs. Someone's Theragun in his abs. Like literally some guy. Oh, I think it's because he wants to. Oh, he's got fake ab implants, and he's obviously hitting it with a Theragun, right? Unbelievable. Yeah. The thing I find odd about this guy is he's literally been found to be taking gear. It's okay, now no one actually cares if you've got ab implants or not. You're just a phony. You're telling when you haven't. Why would anyone believe what you've got to say? It's just mate, it's mental, isn't it?
I'm going for him then. Worst social media follow. Yeah. All right. Worst fad.
Eating raw liver. Probably.
I feel like has the carnivore diet been a big thing this year?
Yeah, it's still rife. It's still. It honestly, it is. It just goes round in circles, right? It does. Yeah, it just goes round in circles, and as we've always said, and I think it's one of those where it'll come back round again. But the carnivore stuff is making a way. It is more present at the moment. But so's intermittent fasting is coming back again. That's coming back. That's not really a fad. I think that's just
that's all right. That's just a good breakfast. That's a tactic, isn't it? It's just a decent nutrition tactic. I feel like carnivore diet is a fad that kind of fucking comes in. Fitness, in the world of fitness, I don't know what they've been like. I don't think High Rocks is a fad. I think they've created something that is more inclusive in terms of a sport. It's not. I don't think it's a sport. It's a fitness event. But yeah, I don't know. In terms of fads, there's not been any mad equipment that's come out that I've seen at all, which is annoying. No, I haven't. Haven't seen that. That much.
Crazy. There's not really been any crazy fit. I mean, it's all just the fucking concepts that people in London come up with. They're just the fucking things you need to watch out for.
That is true. Yeah, just anything that's if you go to an S&C class, a class that is S&T, probably not S&C. It was probably will be C. Won't be S.
Yeah, it will be definitely a lot of C to some degree.
Yeah, not a fad, but maybe awareness. More people still doing High Rocks and these events and lifting and more into functional fitness and all this shit. Just be aware on wearing Metcons the whole fucking time, please, people, and not a shoe that might be better for all these events.
Go do loads of running in Metcons. That's good for you.
Yeah, and just even like just wearing them day to day, like
people do that.
I realize it's flat, but that is one of the issues. So I've taken on, this is probably more because in the last 2 days I've taken on an Olympic lifter that wears Metcons all the time as a coach, and I was like, you've got knee pain, right? I was like, we've taken her on because it's a rehab thing, right? And we're trying to try and get rid of her knee pain. And I was like, one of the things, because she actually works in my gym, but I was like, I never bothered like giving her like professional. I've been giving her professional advice, but never really looked into it. And I was like, you wear Metcons all the time when you train people, and you do like 120 sessions, and then you train yourself in your Metcons and stuff like that. And she has like a fat pad like pain, right? So that little pad that sits under your patella. And so in terminal extension, that thing gets really pissed, like, and compressed. And I was like, when you wear a flat heel, like a flat shoe, you bias your heel more. Therefore, you don't put any pressure on your quad, and you just stand in terminal extension on your knee, and it really pisses off your knees. So I was like, we need to put tension on your quads and make you lean forward. I almost want you to wear high heels, like, so you bend your knee all the time. To relieve some of that pressure. Very strange. Just a thing that people might not realize. If you wear flat shoes with like limited like foot activity all day, it can be sucky.
It's weird, uncomfortable anyway. Like
no, it's not. They're fucking well uncomfortable. Like I've got a pair, and I never wear them ever. Like maybe like every now and again when I've been asked to film something, they look all right. But then I'm like, oh, fuck this. I got like some Nike Frees, or I wear my Vans most of the time.
Can't remember a pair of Converse. Still.
Exactly. Absolutely. So not a fad, but so worst fad, carnivore diet, raw fit, absolutely fine. Right. Worst exercise you've seen this year, Daniel. You must have seen one live in your gym. There's always something happening.
Yeah, the one that
and just FYI, I've on my notes here it says burpees have been retired from this category.
Yeah, they have always. Yeah, we can't do that. I had a guy once on a plank. He was doing a plank on a Swiss ball with his trainer throwing another Swiss ball at him while he was doing it.
Is that like a version of chaos training? I guess.
Yeah. In a busy gym, the trainer was a fucking idiot, and that's stupid, isn't it? And then the reason I voted that is because that's a PT doing that. I don't want to pick on people who like, go in the gym and don't really know what they're doing or whatever. Like, that's what it is. This is, you're a trained personal trainer, and you think that's the best way to train someone's core in the gym. And when I say throwing another Swiss ball at him, I mean literally like throwing it at him in a busy gym. Like, not going around and tapping him or moving his hips or anything like that. No, just throwing the ball at him. Yeah, literally. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, I've not seen much of that, to be honest. That sounds pretty fucking dumb. I've never really got chaos training that much. Like, it's very particular. It's like,
can we also retire anything we see on Joel Seedman's Instagram feed?
That is true. I mean, yeah, like, can we just bring back?
That's probably where you got it from.
The safety bar push-outs with the on racked safety bar, and you push it out. And like, does that lad understand physics whatsoever? Like, that takes no effort. Like, Isabel could push that out. It's like, it's fine. And everyone, load it up. Yeah, of course, it doesn't matter. It's still spin on the same axis. So just put it around it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I love those. Yeah, we have to retire Joel Seedman. There's another guy that really, I think I still follow him, and it really annoys me. And he does these weird, he just looks like he's never played sport ever, but he's doing all these sport movements.
I know who you mean, because I know we've shared it before, I think. And
I think so, yeah. And it's like similar shit. And I think Joel Seedman always likes it. And I'm like, yeah, you're in the same boat. But I think he's like, no, I'm not a Seedman. You're like, you are though, aren't you? Oh, you are.
Like, yeah, you are. Yeah.
Eccentric isometrics. I sent you that post the other day, didn't I? Of like, he was like, I can do this because I do this. And he was like deep squatting. And then he was like, I can deep squat because I partial squat. What? Obviously, he said, because I do eccentric isometrics. I can deep like press up and pull up because I do eccentric isometrics. And I said, I was like, this just makes no sense. I can do this because I've never done this before. What? Doesn't make any sense. No. Dan can drive the green on a par 4 because he hits his putter in no way.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, it's just fucking madness. Yeah, all right. We'll go for Dan's PT, not Dan's PT, but Dan's PT, throwing balls in. All right. Best exercise of the year. So last year, is it going to be a return? And it was just the simple goblet squat.
Good exercise. Good exercise.
Tell
you one that I've liked this year, and my clients will hate me for it, is the Copenhagen plank. I think it's a good movement. Not many people can do it. I think it's an area that I think that is massively underappreciated, and one that will actually contribute a lot to injury prevention, athletic movement a little bit more. And I think the bang for your buck you get from it, much like a goblet squat, bang for your buck there is very, very high because people just don't fucking train it. I think that's quite good. And alongside that, as an aside to that, also is a Cossack squat. Is also, again, my clients hate me for that, is moving. And as you know, you're the one that always, I suppose, pushes me of this way of thinking, is not just thinking sagittal plane, thinking actually we move other ways, you fucking idiot. And that was one of the things that I was like, actually, I'd forgotten that. I remember I was doing it in COVID at home with kettlebells and stuff. It's always been the last couple of years, but it's been one of those things where, combined with the Copenhagen planks, a lot of my clients have been like, fucking hell, this is hard. But then they're like, oh, my squat's got loads better. Oh, I feel loads more stable on one leg doing Bulgarians. Like, I wonder why. It's my hips feel loads better. Yeah, they will do. So yeah, it's I think those two for me as a combination, incorporate that into training a bit of, because everyone's doing abduction work. Everyone's doing the glutes to the side and the kickbacks and the glutes, and no one's really thinking about, okay, well, my hips can do other shit.
People don't look at your internal rotators ever on their leg. Only external rotators. They're just like, yeah, because that gets them a bum. You're like, yeah, it's the same old thing that I've said. It's like, all right, what about the other side? You can only accelerate as fast as you can slow down, right? You have to be able to decelerate it. It's the same as injury prevention. That's what happens. It's awesome having really, really, really thick glutes that are really powerful, but if you're unable to lower that weight, then you're gonna suck.
And I think also as well, like if I was training more athletic people, and maybe it's something I'll incorporate a little bit more, maybe into warm-ups and stuff, but also it's hip flexor strength. People aren't training hip flexor.
I think I put up a story yesterday of like got, I think it's more a hamstring hold, but it's like a Bosch hold, Bosch hold or whatever it is, with hip flexor banded. It just has to be banded, like stuff like that, in like prone positions, in like supine positions. I do them in plank positions as well. I tend to put in banded hip flexion in a lot of those positions because, one, holding it's boring and they might as well do something else whilst they're there. And two, they need hip flexor strength. If any runner is not doing that, then it's madness if they're not. Like the ability of being able to like quickly do that and be able to lift your leg, because still the hip is the biggest driver for like running massively, just like to recycle and go through.
It's probably the glutes aren't firing. It's probably
definitely that. And then they were like, you've got tight hip flexors. Why is that? Because they're fucking weak as piss. That's why. Not because their glutes aren't firing, and that's fine. It's just like, maybe look at the other side. They're too short. You need to stretch them out. No, we need to train them, and then they'll be fine. It's absolutely fine. For me, probably I've done a lot more calf-based training this year, mainly in, I think, calves in different variances of knee flexion. I think people, and a lot more heel hovers in calf work and like split squats work and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
the floating heel,
floating heel and the calf raises and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the thing. I definitely programmed more into people with good beneficial results for like vertical jump height and like 10-yard like sprints and stuff like that. And then Copenhagen's are solid. Side plank stuff solid. Anything else? Not really. My personal favorite exercise that I've done this year is a post. I can't remember what it's even fucking called. I was like I just took a variation of a chop or a lift of a cable, and I was facing away, and I internally rotated into a hip, and then put it in front of me. And it's the best exercise I've given to people to sort out like a lot of like reactiveness in terms of stability and loading up on their kind of P chain a little bit more. Some people have sucked doing it big time. Definitely the movement that's I've noticed sorted my hips out more this year. I think maybe more solid. But yeah, I posted on a reel about like 2 months ago, but I can't remember what I called it. I don't know what it's called, if I'm honest. It's me pissing around after watching some of the stuff, and I was like, why can't I do it this way? It's like a posterior. I can ask. I know at least 2 or 3 of my clients online have got it right now. They know what I'm talking about. Message me what I've called it. I'm not going to try this and see what I've called it. Posterior cable lift, something like that. I don't know.
I think you should call it
the whole lift. All right, mate. Last category. Podcast of the year. What podcasts have you been listening to?
Well, recently, someone.
No. Get your podcasts out.
No, well, it's on YouTube, so it's not a podcast. So it's on a YouTube channel. Is all the old Ricky Gervais XFM radio shows are absolutely incredible. He was on a stint. So basically, this is from like 2004. So like Office hadn't been out very long. And he just started doing bits on the radio. Him, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. So obviously they developed over the last 15, 18 years, must be 18 years nearly now. 2022, they've been doing stuff together, I think.
Yeah.
He's done his Idiot Abroad, all this sort of stuff. And he started, but this is how he started. And I like listening to it because it's the raw, unedited. He was just a moron, and he just had a really weird view of the world. And obviously nowadays he kind of plays up to the character a bit more, and he's been put in front of the TV and stuff. But it is literally what made them start that whole thing. Is it's the XFM radio shows. They did a 2-hour radio show on a Saturday for years, alongside doing The Office and all these other things. And basically, someone has found the recordings, taken out all the songs and all the adverts, and just put them talking, and they've cut it perfectly. And so this 2-hour show becomes a 1-hour show, and they've, honest to God, there's just hundreds of them online.
Yeah.
Like now they found them all from how many years they were doing it. If you imagine they did one a week, whatever. And they are so good to listen to. It's such easy listening. And I pissed myself laughing. You forget about the world for an hour. It's so good. And that's been my find of the year in terms of podcast of the year. I mean, Diary of a CEO has been okay. There's been a few episodes that have been good on that, but this one has been good. There's one episode of Diary of a CEO that I think every online coach needs to listen to, and it's the one with Piers Morgan, by the way. Anyone needs to listen to that. I didn't know much about him before that, but listening to that podcast made me respect him a little bit more, which sounds crazy because people don't like him. But I think a lot of online coaches can take a lot from that one episode. If I was going to recommend one episode, because I don't know any episodes of the Carpenter, it's just fucking brilliant, all of them. But that one episode of Diary of a CEO really hit home to me as a coach and like why we should do what we do on social media. He talks a lot about why it's important that you give your opinion and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that is, if it was an episode, it'd be that. If it was an actual full podcast, it would be the Ricky Gervais show on YouTube. Unbelievable.
Nice.
Just search Ricky Gervais XFM shows. They'll all come up. You'll find hundreds of them.
Decent. Mine have been very very bland. I feel like I'm really like I've listened. Obviously more business minded. I've been listening to The Game with Alex Hormozy, but it's just like I have to listen. I listen to like 2 or 3, and then I can't listen to it like for a week because you're like, all right, I've got to think about what he said, and it's like it's always very intense, and I'm like, all right, it's not what I want to listen to all the time. I have to feel in that mood to be like, I'm in the mood to be motivated and do this, and it's like it's a very motivating business orientated thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be really, really on it for my business. And then you're like, all right, I need to chill out and listen to it. Stupid. So I've still listened to Off Menu because I'm a foodie. I listened to Rob Brydon's podcast. It's called Bryden and, which is very chilled. It's like old man, kind of just chatting to random people. And he has a very, very nice way about him. So those are probably the 3 that I've listened to most over this year. Rick Shields. Vanilla though in it, And people, if you don't like golf,
it's just easy to have one in the background. It's just easy to have
yeah.
in the background. I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing podcast in the world, but it's just something to listen to if you like golf. Basically.
If you like golf, that's the only reason why you'd listen to it. Don't listen to it if you don't like golf. Fuck me.
I do think I do have to say, I think a lot of the golf content is very vanilla.
Yeah.
The good guys are okay, but even they're not the biggest personalities. It's better than what the others do, but there's not a lot of huge amounts of comedy and piss taking and swearing and stuff like that. You know, like I think there's a real gap for it. I think maybe we should turn this into a podcast. Maybe we should do that, a golf podcast. We should
turn it into a podcast. What have we been doing?
Turn it into a golf one. Sorry. But I mean, we don't. I also think we don't care enough about the game. We're not involved in the game enough to give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Enough to have the opinions, but there is certainly a big gap for people with personality in golf doing podcasts. And YouTube, I think, in general, because a lot of YouTubers you watch, Peter Finch is boring as fuck. There's another guy on there that I get shown, James Robinson, again, not the most exciting guy in the world. I suppose golf attracts those kind of people to you.
That's why we're there. Making friends. Yeah.
That's it, mate.
Yeah. And then I've listened to the same fucking NFL podcast for the last like 12 years. So that's longevity. That is fucking. They do 3 to 4 shows a week.
Oh, it's just boring, isn't it, mate? It's just NFL. It's just boring. Can't deal with it.
I don't listen to every single one like a week, but yeah, certain ones I do listen to. Fucking it, mate. Crazy. All right, we'll give it to Ricky Gervais because that sounds like I can concur that I find those like a lot fucking hilarious. So beautiful.
Yeah, honestly, go back and listen to it. It is very, very entertaining and so easy to listen to and have on in the background. Like if you listen to that on your journey into work or on the tube, you would find yourself laughing on the tube. You would be like, you'd look like that guy, which is quite fun. So, yeah. There you go.
Nice. All right, that brings us to a close. Beautiful. Yeah. Another year. Thank you for listening, guys. Unfortunately, we're still going to speak to Dan in the new year.
Much appreciated that you listened. But next year, like I said, we've talked about that. We're going to try and get some guests on once a month. We're going to get a guest on, so hang around for the cool guests.
Yeah, we'll probably put it as a series as well. So we'll just release it once a month, even if we record like 1 or 2 series wise, that kind of stuff. So that'll be more fun. Bring the dream gym day, into fruition, because I wanted to do it fucking ever. Since we had that idea. So good. Right. Any other business, Daniel?
Not for me.
Not from me. There's no blitz. There's no launches. There's no.
Nothing. Enjoy
Nothing.
Christmas. Have a good one.
Yeah, fucking go enjoy Christmas. Go eat everything. Ignore everybody who says tactically eat around Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and just go have some fun.
Do whatever you want.
Right, guys. We'll catch you in the new year.
See you later.